Hi everyone, it's Sydney. I just thought that I'd hop in and say hello and talk to you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. The reason for me wanting to engage with you today is because it is my 4th anniversary of life. And I just wanted to say how lucky I am to be alive today. When 4 years ago I was entered into the hospital at the Montreal General, and I really had to fight for my life. It's been really an interesting 4 years of figuring out what was important to me, because when death knocks at your door, you kind of reconsider everything. So I feel very blessed not only to have my wonderful health, that I have yourselves to interact with, I have a beautiful life, and I just wanted to take a moment and count my blessings. So here I am broadcasting from my home here in Montreal. I'm from Sydney Mar Wellness, where I have this beautiful collection of all sorts of things to make sure that you can have that optimal health for your life. And the reason that I was so inspired to create it was really in my own near-death experiences and the experience that I have had for many years, actually almost all of my life. And I really wanted to just encourage you as, I guess, someone who has been inspired by, hey, almost having had their life taken away, that it's precious, so take care of it. So I'd love for you to really take a moment and think about the self-love. Self-care, self-love. I know that you're busy. I know that you've got the kids to chase after. I know you've got a lot of reports to do and work to do at the office and people to make happy, but make sure that you're taking care of yourself. This is really, really, really important. And why, when we jump on a plane, why do you think that all of those fabulous flight attendants say, hey, you got to put on your mask first? You got to put on your mask first, because if you're passed out because you have no oxygen, you're not going to be able to help the person beside you. You're not going to be able to help your loved one. You're not going to be able to help your kid or your husband or your wife or whomever that you need to be able to help. So this is part of the reason for the importance of self-love. A lot of people have thought, well, taking care of myself, isn't that kind of selfish? Shouldn't I put everybody else first? Well, just make sure that you're putting a little bit of energy into yourself, that you have time to rest, that you're feeding yourself properly, that, if you're inclined like I do to take supplements, then maybe you're going to want to reach out or figure out which ones are the right supplements that you can take to make sure that you have all of the energy you want in your life to get you from the moment you wake up all the way through the day to the end of the day. So self-care is self-love. In fact, tomorrow I'm being interviewed by a wonderful gal called Paula Gabriola. Very exciting. I am one of 21 speakers who are going to be interviewed about what she calls the courage to be you. It's really all about self-love. It's about the taking care of yourself and the choices we make on a daily basis. And in fact, last night when I went to bed, I was talking to a very close friend of mine, and she was saying that she would love to also do a little bit of meditation, and she does it, she doesn't do it, she does it, she doesn't do it. But it's just those few minutes that she could take in the morning just to make sure that she's centered. That would be so helpful for her, because guess what? When you're centered, when you're making sure that you've had enough water in the day, that you've had a little bite to eat, that you've taken a moment to rest or reflect, then you're going to be able to get through your day a little bit better. You're going to be able not to snap at someone when you're thinking, oh, I'm just too busy, or, it's overwhelming. And sometimes life is like that. Life is not easy. I think that, in fact, life can be pretty tough, but there are ways of navigating it in a way that you're just going to be healthier, happier, and this is what I'm going to encourage you to do. Whether or not it's just making sure that you have a bite to eat before you dash out the door, whether or not you decide that you're going to improve or increase the amount of water that you're drinking. I mean, as you know, I'm a big fan of lemon water. I like the fact that it alkalinizes my body. I like the fact that when your body is alkaline, that you are going to be able to just stave off any germs that come your way, because an alkaline body, a pH balance or alkaline body, is really resilient. You know, germs come by, but guess what? Germs go. They don't settle on you. You don't end up getting colds and things like that. Because if you are more acidic, you're kind of opening up the door. You're opening up yourself to being able to get a cold. Get something that, you know, someone has some little germs, that maybe you picked up something that, you know, someone else touched, and you're not going to be able to fight off those germs if you are in an acidic state. So we could talk about that for a minute. You know what I do actually? When I take coffee or take my coffee in the morning, and I know not all, you know, coffee's not always fabulously good for you, but I happen to love coffee. So when I have my cup of coffee in the morning, what I do is I have a tiny little crystal vase right beside my coffee cup. And what I do is I put baking soda in it, and I have a beautiful little silver spoon. I put it into my coffee cup, and then I put a little bit of sugar, because I do like it a bit sweet, and then I pour my coffee. So what does the baking soda do? Baking soda actually is a very inexpensive and fabulously good for you product to have in the house. It might cost $1.29. Maybe it's going to cost $2.29 for one of those little boxes, but it's going to take you a long time to go through that. What I use baking soda for is to put it in my coffee, and it actually makes it alkaline. I've even taken the little pH testers, dipped it in, checked it before, checked it after I put just a touch, just a tiny little pinch of baking soda in my coffee, and it means that it is more alkaline, it's more pH balance, and that means it's going to be healthier for me. The other thing you can do with that little box of baking soda is to keep some by your bathtub, which of course I'm the bubble bath girl, so I really love to have a bubble bath. But what I do is I take a couple of scoops, I keep it in a beautiful little dish beside my tub, because if I have to go look for all this stuff, I'm not going to do it. But if I leave a small dish beside my tub, I happen to make a metal one, because I figure if it falls down, it's not going to break. So I just put a couple of scoops of that into my bathtub, and because the skin can absorb the baking soda, it's a really great way of, again, alkalinizing your body. So you can do a detox bath, add in Epsom salts, put in a little baking soda. You can also just relax with a little bit of, what am I thinking of? Lavender drops. Lavender drops, I keep those by my bathtub as well. So detox bath, you can drink more water, you can make it lemony, and make sure that alkalizes your body. And that is really, you know, a few of the self-care tips that I have. Of course, getting a good night's sleep, making sure that you shut off all of these things like your phone and your iPad, maybe a little bit earlier, just so that you can decompress and relax. That would be great for you too. Make sure you have 3 square meals a day. I actually try to have 5. I have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but then I try to have some good snacks with a little bit of protein in between. And these are the things that are just going to help your blood sugar be more even. When your blood sugar is even, so is your energy, nice and even. You don't have any highs, you don't have any lows. So that is why, you know, those, not just old wives' tales, but why Mama said, make sure you eat your meals and to have it balanced. And a great way of having your meals balanced is to think of it in terms of colors. Is it, if you're having something white, then, you know, a white might be, say, rice, or it might be bread, or it might be potatoes. Just pick one, so that you're having one that's really in the starch area. And then you can have something that is a green, that is more of your vegetables. And then you might have something that is a different color. But my father always said that if you sort of cook by color, then it's actually the healthy way to make sure that it's easily balanced. And then you're going to put your bit of protein in there so that you can be nice and healthy. So I'm just encouraging you here today, because as I said, it is my 4th anniversary of life, and I'm celebrating it by making sure that I'm taking care of myself. I'd love to encourage you to take a moment for self-care, self-love. It's going to be one of those things that's going to keep you nicely glued together, make you feel nicely energized so that you can go and have a fabulous life and take care of those around you. So on this day, I'm going to wish you a beautiful Friday afternoon. Have a gorgeous day, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to love you and leave you because my little puppy down here, Jack, says it's time to go for a walk. So that's part of my self-love, is spending the time outside, walking and getting in nature and making sure that I've walked enough to sort of like get my little bit of energy going. So I hope that you have a beautiful day. It's my day to celebrate my 4th anniversary, and whatever you're doing, enjoy.